there. Yeah. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We are up for a nice ride today. We're probably going to be doing about 25 to 30 miles plus, actually. We're going to be going into the city. So right now we're on the main line in the suburbs of Philly. And here we go. Make sure I'm recording. Okay. Alright, so I actually have not ridden it in pedal mode 2 yet since I've had the bike. And I think it's just going to be about getting some momentum. Ooh. Wow, a hill like this from a dead stop, you 100% need pedal mode 4. But I'm not going to push it because I don't want to see my battery drain. Kind of coming out of this neighborhood, I always see my battery draining a lot. There's a lot of hills getting in and out. Alright, so throttle assist does work. Like I got one tiny little niche out of that already. So let's see how much range we started with. We started with 36 miles of range. At least before, I didn't check before we got up the before we left, but we're pretty much an eighth of a mile, maybe 1 block away from the house. All right. We're in pedal assist 3 right now, just to get out of this hilly area. Wow, it is a beautiful day out. All right, let's stick it back in 3. And as soon as we get to the flats up here, I'm just going to go to pedal assist 2. It's a downhill up here, so here we go. All right, looks like it's going to be 7.2 miles to get to the first leg of this. And then it's probably going to be another 8 miles after that. So each way, looks like it's going to be about 15 miles. And truth, I know that I could get there and back full speed because I've done it before. It's just that today I want to try to explore a little bit when I'm down there and have enough juice to get back, that's all. When you tap the throttle, it does give you an assist. You can feel it kick in. But again, I like the pedal a lot. Dina FaceTiming me. Hey honey. Hi. How are you? We still have 36 miles of range and we've gone 1 mile, so that's good. Okay, good. I think we're probably going to be at 2 soon, but still like 2 miles in. But I'm going to give it a little juice with the throttle just to help me up this hill so I don't have to lose any cadence on the pedal. This is definitely a more laid back ride. I'm normally full throttle and, you know, swerving and weaving in and out the lane, but this is nice. I'm going 21 miles an hour. Just right there, 21 right here. got my tool set and a charger, just in case. I'll go up on the sidewalk here, make it a little fun. I'm going slower. Also, another thing that I did was because I have that extra dampening, that, you know, the spring, but I also have, because I have the RX, you have the ability to adjust. I think it's, I don't know if it's the recoil or dampening. I want to say it's the dampening, but whatever. I can actually lock the shock out. There's when you turn it all the way, I believe clockwise, at least when you're sitting on the bike, you feel like a tiny little, you know, extra little kind of notch in the dial. And when you do it, you'll bounce up and down on your bike, and you'll notice that it just went from being really stiff to almost locked out. Like, I have a double suspension mountain bike. I've been riding double suspension bikes for since I was 20 years old, so about 25 years, 26 years. And they if you just have just the spring, they don't fully lock out. But if you do have the hydraulic, or in this case, there's that other little caliper thing on it, I don't know what they call it, but it allows you to have the same effect of almost like a lockout, which, you know, the less flexion when you're going forward and pedaling and stuff like that, it makes it more stiff. Like, my brother always drove a stiff tail, like we're twins, so we would always be identical and stuff, but sometimes that stiff tail, you can see where they're just quicker on the open road. So on a long trip like this, I try to lock out my suspension if I can. If I know it's going to be a straight road, I don't, you know, it doesn't really bother me. I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but I know that it makes a difference when I'm riding my mountain bike on the open road. I like to sprint. I do like 25-mile sprints from my house to the art museum and back. And on a mountain bike, I do pretty good. I mean, I can do that in about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit less. A lot of times I end up keeping up with some of the other road bikers. But man, I love this Super 73. It's still a workout because I'm pedaling the entire time. All right, so let's see where we're at. We have 34 miles of range, so we lost 2 miles, and we've gone 4 miles. So in 4 miles, we've lost 2. Actually, that's pretty good. Cruising at a nice 20. This is chill. I like this. I'll definitely have battery left when I get downtown because we're actually not that far. In truth, on some of these bike paths, and we're going to be headed towards some bike and jogging trails and stuff like that. It's actually really cool to go this speed. Going too fast sometimes might scare people, or, you know, you might hit somebody. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Look at the RX. Yeah. I'm gonna watch these fucking things. I got hit in the face. Actually, I was wearing my goggles. I was wearing my goggles one time, and when I was riding my road bike in Tuscany, Italy, and there was a guy just like that with his weed whacker, and he was actually probably where that car is at. And I was like, oh man, that would suck if this thing kind of hit me, because they go like 100 miles an hour. Well, lo and behold, seconds after I said it, it hit me right in the eye. Thank God I had my glasses on. That would have been awful, actually. It would have certainly ruined my biking trip, that's for sure. Oh wow, that's cool. That's a fun sidewalk. Man, I can't believe these bikes. The fact that these are legal and they're just so much freaking fun. Nice neighborhood. Oh my God, that's Mama's Pizzeria. That, honestly, Elvis Presley used to go there to get cheesesteaks. That is the best place in Philly to get cheesesteaks, or the Philly area. And I'm telling you right now, Geno's and Pat's and Jim Steaks, all those places absolutely have nothing on this place. Listen, I'm a big guy and I have a hard time eating one of their sandwiches. They give you, I think it's like 10 inches or whatever, maybe a foot, but that's actually like a half. They fresh bake their rolls. My God, it's like a kind of a brioche style, like, but sturdier. I'm not sure exactly what kind of bun it is, but oh my God, it's like literally, and the cheesesteak, the actual meat on that cheesesteak is literally fatter than my arm. Like right here in my forearm, it is huge. And it's grade A meat, I'm telling you right now. If you guys ever in the area, you gotta check out Mama's Pizzeria. I know it's called Pizzeria, but best steak in town. Wow, that was a fun hill. We got the 36 right there. Alright, so we're coming into Manayunk right now. As soon as we come past the bridge down here, we're pretty much going to be in Manayunk. I used to actually live here on the other side of the water right there on Leverington in a really cool loft. Yeah, so we're about 8 miles from the city, maybe a little bit less. How many miles are we? I think we're about 7 or 8 miles. I used to jog from actually here down to the art museum. But Main Street's nice. They've really built it up throughout the years. Super 73. Haha, they are jamming. Alright, this is Main Street, Manioc. You know what? Maybe I'll cut on the bike trail. I'm actually going to cut down here on the bike trail really quick. It's kind of fun. Once I saw a turtle frozen in the water right here, like midway trying to dive down. It was completely frozen. Yeah. Coming out. Thank you. I was on the news once on this trail right here when it was snowing out. It was his first snowfall of the season, and the guys, this news crew, caught me and they ran with me and like followed my feet and stuff, just because I was running in the snow. It was kind of cool. But this is the same spot. And here's where I kissed Dina for the first time, right at this very spot right here. Dina, I love you. You're my best friend. Alright. And all these places they come and go. But there's one spot, the brew pub down here, the brewing company right here. This is where Dina and I had our first date. That's where we met. Face to face. So far, the case is working. Alright, so we made it to the first part of our destination, which was about 7.2 miles away from the house, I think. 7 or 8 miles. And let's see where we're at. So, we've lost 6 miles of range. Okay, we've actually done 9 miles. Or 10 miles. So we lost 6 miles of range and 10 miles. And that's pretty good considering how hilly all this is. We'll have to do this ride again. This is a good jump off point because it could take you to so many different places. Like it can take you to downtown Philly, and then I could take it to the left up here at the Falls Bridge once we get up this hill, down the hill, and it brings us into Wissahickon Park area, which is some of the best mountain biking on the East Coast in my opinion. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I actually stayed around this area, is for the mountain biking and the trails and hiking and all that stuff. And you know, this is on par with the best anywhere. I mean, it doesn't have all the crazy, you know, like cool bridges and single track stuff like out west, but it's still very, very, very cool. And you can have a lot of fun. And it just goes on for miles. It stretches throughout the whole city. It's funny that most people that live here don't even know that it exists. When I tell people about Valley Green or ask them if they know about it, they have no clue what I'm talking about. This is how I ride my mountain bike from this point, but I come from Valley Green. So this will be the first time riding on this bike trail. And this is going to lead us right down Center City Art Museum and beyond. See how many miles it is once we get on here. I think it might be 5 miles from here. Okay, so we're still at 201. We'll see when we get down there. I just put on pedal assist 4. Okay, looks like the speed is still the same. Well, let's see, it's a slight uphill. Let's see if it makes any difference. Okay, it just gives you a little bit more power to, you know, do your speed. I'm a little bit higher and gives you a little bit more, but there's definitely more power in the pedals. I like this re-ride helmet, but the one thing about it, ooh, there was a squirrel that I literally almost just hit. The one thing about this helmet is when you're gonna scratch your eye or something, you really can't. Which my eye is itching me right now. Love this trail. The city is beautiful. I actually love this view and love coming down here. I come down here at least once a week, maybe more, depending on how many bike rides I do. I typically use this for bike riding. Alright, actually, I'm going to turn my power assist mode up. Or, not my power assist, but the unlimited mode on. Hope I can do it when I'm driving. When I'm riding. I would say driving like I'm driving a car. You drive a car, you ride a bike. Let's try to rip it up a little bit. love it. I've done these trails a million times, but never this fast. This is freaking awesome. Freaking love this. Oh my god. Man, it's windy out. I hope it's not too bad in the microphone, but man, this is fun. Against the wind. I know you can't tell by the trees, but it's definitely windy. It's definitely a breeze. Oh my god, this is so much fun. Man, everyone needs to get a Super73 or some type of electric vehicle. I like bikes because I don't have to focus as much, but man. It's like I have this whole trail to myself today. This is freaking great. It's usually crowded. I mean, and it's nice out, so I guess it's because it's in the middle of the week. It sounds nice. One of my favorite parts coming up right here.
first bike. Do a little walk around. Freaking bike is still holding up great. I've got 191 miles on it. Actually, I've got 200 miles on it right now, and it's perfect. It's holding up great. Loving it.
How you doing? Oh, you mind if I take it really quick? Mine really quick? It's real quick. It's real quick. This is all fairly new within the last couple of years. This whole bridge section right here. I love it.
Sometimes you gotta take a look outside yourself and recognize what's upon you. Recognition. And thank God for your blessings. Cause not everyone has the same blessings. Has those same blessings that you have. We all can't write the same story, so be mindful of those from a different book. So look, if history repeats itself, then here's some fossils and facts. No bitches in my hood, fuck you for a bottle of Jack. Her baby mama, baby daughter, asking mommy for snack. But mommy can't hear it, old Debo gave her a nap. The one with the longer dream where you don't never come back. This what baby girl think why niggas blow her the back. And little brother, he a hustler, he done been jailing back. So bad his family don't react when he need bail to get back. For us a real job without moving grams with a strap. Unrealistic with the list of felonies on his rap. Christmas time ain't no fucking jelly beans in the sack. They grip an iron, wrinkle any nigga hole in the back. Especially if he got a kid who believes in his dad. A real wolf do anything to bring his family some scraps. Took my nigga J raw and they gave him 13. He's 26 now, so half his life he going unseen. And he got a little girl who really gonna be a queen. For now a princess that gotta grow up with no king. Growing up we doing things from role models we see. You catch a body, hide the weapon on forever in green. No direction, just intersections full of addicts and fiends. So I ain't talking about attack when niggas shoot up to sleep.
Open your eyes, recognize what you see. Thoughts in your mind swim around you in too deep. Can't rectify all the times they cheat you. Don't end up blind. Don't end up blind.
What's going on, guys? Good, how are you guys? Oh yeah, the E community. I love it. How fast do you guys, how fast do they go? Oh, that's good. That's fast enough, really. Yeah. That's good. That's actually really good. This will do, well, it'll range, but it'll go as low as like 20 in the low mode, up at 75-mile range at 20 miles an hour. And at 30 to 35, you'll get like 30 to 32 miles.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. Oh, you too, guys. Nice meeting you guys. All right, I'll see you guys. They closed down this side of the river drive for bikes. There's Boathouse Road from over here, or down there. Wow, look at all that traffic. Haha, I'm so happy I don't have to sit in that shit anymore. In fact, I think I'll turn around and go the other way. You know what? Maybe, actually, I can go this way. I haven't been this way home in a while. Well, this is great though. You can tell no cars are on this road because all like it's starting to, like all the leaves and stuff, they're not getting blown off by the cars. Wow, I can honestly say I have never been this way. Obviously, it's closed. Alright guys, so let's see, we have about 10 miles of range left. I've got about 6.5 miles to get home, so it's going to be a close call, so we'll see. Right now we're in pedal assist 2 and mode 2. It's almost 30 miles. It's like 27 miles or something like that. So I officially did further this time than I did last time, and I've definitely driven further than I did last time. And got better gas mileage, well, better mileage, not gas mileage. Okay, before we just rode down to the art museum and back. This time I drove more miles for sure. And I'm going probably the most hilly way back home I could possibly go. So I'm happy with this thing, man. This is a true traveling vehicle. Like, I can actually travel with this thing. I am doing what we need to do. This is really cool. Still going 22 miles an hour. This is great. Says we have 7 miles range left. I think we're gonna do this. It's gonna have less, I'll have less than 5 miles when I get back, that's for sure. So I'll have to let you guys know how it actually is working as far as the speed and if the throttle cuts out or not. But so far, so good. Pretty nice size hill on a low battery. I'm still going 18 miles an hour. It just was going 19. Now if I give it a little juice when I'm pedaling, look, I can get up to 21 right there. It's a fast pedal, but it's not a tiring pedal. See? With the throttle. That's probably the fastest I've pedaled all day. Which I don't even think I need to. I just wanted to prove that I could go a little bit quicker uphill while the battery is still so low. 6 miles of range. And it really turned out to be a beautiful day. Okay, so 5 miles. This is total uncharted territory for me. And this is from based on what people are saying. When they says 5 miles, they say pretty much the bike is useless. But so far, it shows 5 miles here. Pedal assist 2. I'm going 22 miles an hour. Look, I'm not pedaling, I just have my throttle. Flat road. So far, so good. So we'll see. I probably have maybe a mile left, maybe a little bit less than a mile. But it's hilly, so we'll see. Going 23. Man, this has been great range. Okay, so I'm gonna do throttle only from here on out up these hills. So just to see. We have 5 miles range left. We're still getting throttle up hills. So this is perfect. I got my feet on the pegs right now. The rear pegs. That is the last hill that we have. Okay, it's creeping up the hill. Let's see. Alright. It might be fading out on me. Let's see. Here's flat. Going 10 miles an hour. Slight uphill. Okay, so we still have some juice. Pretty much that's it. We timed it perfectly. So let's see what the range is. 5 miles. So into 5 miles, we still have some juice. It's probably more like a pedal assist 1 type of feeling going on. I don't think I could have timed that any more perfectly. Total 223 miles, right down the street from home. Going 28 miles an hour. Range, I have 5 miles left. Actually, a little bit. It's just going to be 4 in a little bit, I'm sure. Let's see. There's no pedaling at all. I was still going 20 miles an hour. We made it. Alright guys, looks like that's the end of the video. Thanks for joining me. If you guys like the video, please subscribe. Click that notification button, that like button. It would greatly help the channel out, and appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks, peace, until next time.